guys! Welcome back to my channel. Today I decided to paint another seascape painting, like beach painting. So I hope you enjoy this one. This will be a daylight scene, so we will be painting some light and shadows. Let's begin now guys, and I'll be underpainting first my canvas. And the colors, of course, you already saw that during the intro of this video. Let's begin now. So I'm just gonna use this square brush. All right, perfect, because I'm just starting, and then the sound, right, listen to that sound guys. So I'm gonna underpaint first my canvas. I'm gonna use my phthalo blue, add some white, and then add tiny bit of black. I think I have some dried black here I can use. All right. Again, blue, white, and black. And let's create that muted sky. You can add water just to help you apply the paint quite smoothly. All right. Again, blue and white. Okay, as I go down, I'm gonna lighten my blue by adding more white to that. Okay, like this. Again, I'm gonna darken the upper portion because, yeah, the gradient effect is what I'm trying to achieve here. Like that. Okay, and then as I go down again, add more white. And I'm gonna mark the horizon probably here. Yeah, right here. So this will be the horizon. Okay, and then I'm gonna let this dry first. Let's move on to the foreground, or to the land portion of this painting. So for the land, I'm just gonna use my emerald green. It's not land actually, it's the water. Sorry guys. So use your emerald green plus white. And let's apply it like this. Emerald green is like mint green. Like this. And I'm using a lot of water just to give that light effect. Not light, light colors effect. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so this is the water. Now we're moving to the land portion, or to the sandy part of this beach island. I'm gonna get my apricot. Guys. Add white. Okay. I'm gonna apply it like this and up there. Alright, like that. And I'm gonna allow some apricot to blend with the water to suggest that the water is washing away the land. All right, I'm gonna add white here, like that. Like that. So if you're into abstract pieces, this will do already. Done in like 5 minutes. Okay, so wash your brush out. And we're going to make suggestion of rocks that are seen above waters. The rocks are underneath, but or under the waters, but they are seen because the water is transparent. So we're going to use some. All right, I'm just deciding the colors now. I'm gonna use some dark brown or maybe raw sienna. Wait, guys. Okay, I couldn't find my brownie color. All right, got it. So I got here my burnt sienna. All right, so I'm gonna use my burnt sienna to create some rocky portion. So get your burnt sienna, mix it with tiny bit of black, just tiny bit, add tiny bit of white. And let's just create some suggestion of, actually this is quite dark. I'm gonna add white. Okay, more white. Like that. Okay, I don't know if you can hear some motor running. That's because I think my neighbor upstairs are cleaning their aircon. That's why I can hear the motor, like they're cleaning their aircon. Anyway guys, it's not for you to know. I'm just saying that if you're hearing something weird in the background, that's probably the motor running. But anyway, I hope it doesn't distract you. All right, now you see that we actually did some suggestion of distant rocks. I'm gonna get my white and I'm gonna apply it here. All right, here. Like that, to suggest water movements. All right, and here in between the water and the land, just add white. And of course that is to suggest that the water is washing away some sand. Okay, wash your brush out. I'm gonna get my cad yellow, but super watered down, guys. I'm gonna add white. All right, add white. That's too yellow. And of course, I'm gonna use my fingers just to blend. All right, like that. Okay, wash your brush out again. Get your white and apply it again. Okay, like that. Now we're gonna allow this first to dry. It's quite all right already, but we're going to make more details later. We're going back to the sky and let's make some clouds. So I'm just gonna get a fluffy brush for this one. I'm gonna get my white again, titanium white, and we're gonna dry brush again. Okay, my brown is mixing. So let's create some cloud. Oops, I think my brush is quite dirty. The brown is mixing. All right, like that. We're just gonna fix that one. So we're going to create some clouds. Just dry brush. Like that. Up here. Remember guys, to make your clouds as natural looking as possible. You know, you can even take a look outside and see how clouds look like. Of course, you have an idea already of what clouds look like, but it's still good that you refer to the real thing. Because our minds, our memory, cannot really recall details of objects that we see, especially the small details. I'm gonna make some area quite brighter than the others. Like that. I'm gonna make some gray color. Get your white, add some tiny bit of black, and add that to the sky, because I kind of don't like it when the clouds are perfectly white, because they are not perfectly white in reality. So I'm just gonna gray some areas now. Not too much though, because we're trying to get that bright day image or mood. We don't want any gloomy day mood now. I'm gonna make some lower clouds or low clouds. Like that. Okay. Oh, this is so nice. I like it. All right. So I'm gonna let this dry for a while, and let's define our horizon line. So I want you to get a flat brush and get your phthalo blue. And then I'm gonna add a tiny bit of phthalo green to that, just to darken that blue. And we're just gonna go straight along that horizon line that we already defined or predefined, but now we're going to make a more defined horizon line. That's nice. I wasn't breathing while doing that. Okay, so I'm gonna darken some areas along the horizon. So I'm just gonna water down this paint, and I'm just gonna use my finger like this to apply some darkness from afar, or dark waters. All right, like that. Wash your brush out. Now I'm gonna get again a burnt sienna plus tiny bit of black, and let's go gray some areas now. So I'm just graying it by using some watered down brown and black. Okay, like that. All right, wash your brush out. Now get your white plus your emerald green combined. Just mix them. And let's go near the water and define the water. Like this. Okay. Then we're gonna leave it like that for now. We will go back to it later when the paint is dry. Let's go and paint some palm trees again. As you can see, if you've been watching my latest videos, you'll find out that I've been painting some palm trees. I'm having a series kind of thing. So I hope you're enjoying them. Let's get some black paint. And I'm gonna get my phthalo green. Just mix it with the black paint. Maybe add some burnt sienna to it. Let's create some palm trees. So I'm just gonna, not like that. You can use more brown. Okay. All right, like that. So I'm just gonna paint over it again, just to close those gaps, like that. And I'm gonna make this quite thicker, because this is where the roots of the palm tree is, or are. So this is where the roots are, and we're going to make it quite irregular because again, we're painting a natural subject. We don't want to be too structured, too perfect. All right. All right, like that. Okay, wash your brush out now. We're going to make some palm leaves and get your phthalo green. Okay, mix it with cad yellow. Add a tiny bit of brown just to tone it down. And let's begin and do some palm leaves. So I'm gonna be using some dark greens and light greens alternately. You can do this right away. You don't have to wait for the paint to dry. Just switch whenever you feel like switching colors. We're only using dark greens and light greens. Later we will be adding some yellows. But for now, just use your dark greens and light greens alternately, so that you see already the general look of what you are trying to achieve. So I'm glad the aircon cleaning upstairs is done. No more noise. Okay. All right, like that. We're going to make this quite thick. When we go into the details later, this will look more lifelike. It's quite therapeutic, you know, to be doing something like this repetitively. I kind of like it. Alright, of course, we're going to make some suggestions of tiny coconuts. Right here. Okay. Okay, I'm going to make a bigger one. Like that. It's nice. Okay, wash your brush out. We're going, before we do the detailing of the palm leaves, we have to do some shadows to suggest where the light is. So I want you to get your apricot. And then we're going to add black to that apricot. Okay, you see this color? And add more black. So it's like gray. It should be lighter than the actual color. So I'm gonna use water and start creating some like shadows, shadow-like image. So again, just use quite grayish color. And I'm gonna use some black in some areas. All right, okay, wash your brush out. So I'm gonna extend like that. And we will do some detailing later. For now, let's leave it like that. I want you to get your yellow ochre plus black. Okay, yellow ochre plus black. Maybe add white to that. Okay, and then let's create some detailing. So we're going to highlight. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of white. And make some highlights like this. All right, I'm gonna get my black. And create some more details, dark details, to suggest dimension. Okay, like that. All right, wash the brush out now. Let me check. It's nice. Now let's get some cad yellow. Okay. And let's just go back to the leaves because it's quite dry already. Just highlight or apply some yellowness to our palm leaves. Okay, I'm gonna add white. Or maybe I'm just gonna use white. So just use your white in highlighting some leaves. Okay, and then some yellow. Okay, I'm gonna get my burnt sienna. Okay. And apply some brownness to some leaves. Because leaves are not perfectly green and yellows. There are some browns, some portions are dying, some portions are dead. So let's make it as natural looking as possible. Okay. I'm applying some white. All right, let's do some yellow green. So I'm gonna add yellow and green together. Okay, I'm gonna add yellow. You heard that? You will hear a lot of noise in the background. But that only lets you know that I am in a place where there are other people. Okay, again, burnt sienna. All right. Okay, wash your brush up. All right. We're going back to the shadow area because that is too dark for a shadow. So I want you to get your white. And we're going to glaze it now. Just like that. I just glaze it with white. You see that? How? Okay. Okay, wash your brush out. Just like that. Get your white again. Let's glaze the waters. Just like, oh, that's too much. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe it with some cloth like that, because we don't want it to be fully covered. We want it to be seen, but we don't want it to be like in your face seen, you know. Perspective, that's perspective. So I'm just applying some white on the waters. Like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna get back to the sand part. So get your apricot, guys, and just color this area. Okay. Okay, now we'll be using our palette knives. It's not very normal that we use our palette knives, so I want to use this one. So just get a normal palette knife. I'm using this kind of palette knife. So I'm just gonna dab it onto my green colors. So I'm just gonna use my existing green here, and I really don't mind if the yellow is mixing because I kind of like that effect. So I'm just gonna use the edge of my palette knife and start creating some leaves like applications here. Okay, I'm gonna get back to my black. Okay. Now we can go back to the sky. I'm just gonna use again a palette knife. This time it's quite triangular. So I'm just gonna use my palette knife, dab it onto my white. I'm gonna use the back of the palette knife. And I'm just gonna make some cloud-like applications like this. So I'm just using the back of my palette knife to create some clouds, because the pattern that the palette knife creates is actually applicable to the waters and the sky. And in the sky, I'm meaning clouds. Maybe here, just to suggest that clouds are scattered. Okay, that's nice. Alright, now I'm gonna use my palette knife. With this paint, or with this white, I'm just gonna water down the paint, and when it's super watered down, I'm just gonna go back to my water and create some water-like effect using my palette knife. Alright. I'm gonna do some gray colors, so I'm gonna use my white, and oops, the yellow is mixing. I'm gonna use my white and tiny bit of black. Let's create some gray color. Let's go back to the sky, because again, we don't want the sky to be perfectly white. It's not the real, it's not real when it's perfectly white. I feel like there is something wrong with it when it's perfectly white. Okay. So apply some grayness. All right, like that. Okay, again, I'm just gonna use my palette knife and a lot of water, like that. You see the effect, guys? I didn't have to exert so much effort in detailing it, but when you use palette knives, you know, they kind of give that effect already. So I think it's looking good for now. I mean, looking good. We'll do it better because we'll be adding some more details, especially on the palm leaves. I feel like the palm leaves still lack some depth. So let's move on. I'm gonna use my palette knife again. I'm just gonna get my white and dab it onto some areas. I'm gonna get my yellow as well. Okay, some white. So I'm just highlighting, and I want to use my palette knives or my palette knife in highlighting because it just gives that texture that I like. Alright, so I'm gonna go back to my regular brush now. And let's make some black detailing. I'm just using my pointy brush. It's quite pointy to really create some tiny lines. Okay, we're doing some detailing here. Okay, I'm gonna get my burnt sienna plus white. Let's go here. Right, I'm gonna get my black and I'm just gonna define this tree trunk. Right, like that. And let's go back to the shadow just for finishing touches. So I'm gonna get again my gray colors plus some apricot. More black. It's too light. Like that. Okay, I'm gonna get again some dark apricot and I'm just gonna go along the waterline. Just like that, just to add some shadow to it. So I'm gonna use again my emerald green plus white and tiny bit of black. Just to create some more detailing. Just like that. Okay, I'm gonna use pure emerald green. And apply it in some areas to suggest depth. All right, and then I'm gonna go back to my white. And let's go and glaze again. Because I really want the farthest portion of this to, perspective-wise, to appear far. Because we're doing perspective here. So I'm just making some more cloud detailing here. Like that. And if this gets covered, just repair it. Like so. Okay, I'm gonna use more white. And light greens. You can spend so much time, as much time as you want or as you need. You don't have to rush, you don't have to stop at a certain point. But my advice is for you to actually finish it. Just because you can always have the time to finish a painting, um, you do not desire to paint it as fast as you can. Meaning, you're not rushing, but you have the intention to finish it. That's what I'm saying. Like that. Kind of like this already. For the shadows, I'm just gonna get my white and glaze this part again because it's too dark for my liking. You shall not do dark shadows. We are not supposed to do dark shadows. Again, I'm just lightening. Okay. This is good. Oops, sorry. This is good, guys. Oh, this is nice, right? It's so nice. Okay, I'm just gonna get more emerald green because I feel like I over painted it with white. It's like it's almost white everything, so I don't want that. I still want some bluish greenish color to be seen here. And of course, again, because we've covered it already with white, that's why it cannot be seen anymore. Like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. This is nice, right? It's very simple. Okay, let's make the shadows more detailed. fix this one. Okay, I'm gonna get my burnt sienna and just tiny bit of suggestion of browns. Like that. Okay, oh, this is beautiful. This is nice, right? I like it. So if you want to add more detailing, you can do so. You are not prevented from adding more details to this. Oh, this is nice. I'm just gonna make this quite natural. It doesn't look natural to me. Here. Like that. And here, yeah, there you go. Okay. So it's very simple and quite calm. I'm gonna gray this area near the horizon. So I'm just gonna add some gray color along that horizon or this horizon. Because I feel that it's too sky blue, and it should not be the case, because as we all know, that's not the case. Usually the lower portion of the sky is quite grayish. It's not blue. Like that. Good. Okay. This is nice, but of course, I really don't like that it's too defined. The shadows, I don't like any hard lines. Okay. For the final touches, I'm just gonna get my apricot and a lot of white. So apricot, a lot of white, and I'm gonna brighten this area here. and here. Like that, yeah. That's what I want. I've been trying to think how to do that. And of course you can hear some hammering. Again, just gray this portion. We're almost done. I'm just obsessing about the detailing, guys. You don't have to obsess too much about that, just like me. Like that. I just don't want that dark lines. Okay, I think this is good, guys. This is good. Oh my gosh. I have to sign this now. So I have to sign this now. I will just use a small brush. So I'm just gonna use my black and sign it here. Okay, I think we're done. We're done, guys. Yay! So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope you're enjoying my palm tree series. But of course, wait guys, just get your yellow ochre. I keep seeing things. I'm just adding details. Can even use yellow ochre for the leaves. Yes. Okay, I think this is good. Right? Right, guys? There you go. Okay. Yeah, I need to stop already. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. And if you're doing this simple painting today or later, please let me know and show me your paintings. See you in my next video, guys.